G'day, ZiggyD here. So everyone's like, Ziggy, do another short patch note summary like last time. Only can you do it in like 5 minutes so I have time to look at more GIFs on Reddit? Sure, that's an entirely reasonable request. I mean, there's only like
80,000 lines of notes and 500 new passive clusters.
Let's do it, no worries. Well, the most important thing from the patch notes is that all of the conspiracy theory people were actually right all along, and this patch proves it. Map bosses actually didn't have their additional chance to drop connected maps. What else has GGG been lying about? Maybe Rayclast actually is flat. Anyway, big skill buffs and stuffs. Every melee skill got buffed. Don't think too hard about it, just play melee. Most melee skills are a bit slower but hit harder, and most got flat damage so your weapon matters less. The big thing is that everything melee got buffed big time on the mechanical level, so it's all good stuff. Member Sunder, GGG members, now it's bigger and stronger. Also, you can shield charge with wands. Shield charge uses your shield for damage now like shield throw, so it's bad. Nah, it might be okay, but it's bad with face breakers now at least. And no, spectral shield throw isn't good yet probably. Maybe in 3.8, guys. Maybe in 3.8. In other news, Flicker Strike generates its own frenzy charges now. Oh boy! And since all melee skills hit multiple enemies now, why would you bother with melee splash? Well, it turns out it's shotguns, that's why. Every enemy hit creates a melee splash that overlaps and they're bigger. Fortify support gem got damage. Actually, it's not that bad on main skills now, especially for Flicker Strike and Cyclone. The infused channeling support works for physical skills now. Multi-strike's cool now too. It goes less fast, but repeated hits deal more damage like a combo bonus. And lastly, Lesser Poison got a bit less lesserer. It's got a lot of added chaos damage now, almost as much as added chaos. Now, skill nerfs or attempted skill nerfs. On the success end of things, Warlord's Mark doesn't work for spells now. Not so smart now, are you intelligence builds? Use Mind Over Matter, Eldritch Battery, or a Mana Potion, smarty pants. Or you could always use the Mana Leech gem, it's really good, I promise. Winter Orb. They did it. They actually nerfed it. Duration is now a flat 1.2 seconds with stages scaling it, so duration stacking will be weaker. It shoots half as fast and 20% less far away. It does shoot faster while channeling though, but that only brings it back to what it used to be. Pretty big nerfs, but it's probably still good for zooming. Last patch, Stormbrand escaped the nerfs by throwing Armageddon Brand under the bus, but GGG has come back around for it. It's slower, has less AoE, and doesn't shotgun now. It did get more damage and more damage to single targets though. Actually, this is a pretty even-handed nerf, all things considered, and it's probably better balanced overall now as a skill. So, GGG also said in their manifesto, prepare yourselves. Sol Ren's getting nerfed, guys. Watch out. Better start planning other builds. This is it. Here it is. Get ready for it. Skill's gonna die. Okay. Sol Rend might be okay, guys. And Bane did get a bit of a nerf, but nothing huge. Essence Drain Contagion is safe, no changes. And lastly, Molten Strike got shredded. You cannot target the ground now to shoot out projectiles, and it deals less projectile damage. Don't hate GGG for this one, guys, it's your own fault, because, admit it, you wouldn't have used all the other cool melee skills if they didn't do this, so it was for your own good. Ascendancies. Slayer good, Berserker good, Chieftain good, Champ good, Gladiator good. There you go. And now let's look at the Spellcaster Ascendancies. Oh no, Occultist dropped Wicked Ward. Where's it gone? Oh, there it is. It fell into the passive tree. Oopsie, Occultist. Now everyone can use it. Turns out Occultist basically forgot how to build energy shields. So Elementalist was problematic, hey? The Beacon of Ruin node was degenerate, let's face it, and it broke PCs, so GGG said they're gonna fix her. There we go, all fixed. Prolif has been removed to be changed at a later date, and in the meantime, Trickster got a bit of a nerf, less attack speed and cast speed, and dodge, and Ghost Shrouds generate slower. It's a bit of a nerf, but Trickster is still pretty good. Also, you can do this, and now you have an Occultster, or a Trickultist, whichever you prefer. Other stuff. Rare monsters have double life in maps. Might be time to get that single target skill going. Dense fossils won't be worth 8 times the price of other fossils anymore. No more 50% increased energy shield suffix. Instead, now they give bonus quality suffixes, but only to body armor and shields. Abyss Jewel's damage, life, and mana has all been nerfed, so they're closer in power levels to normie jewels now. Overall, two-handed weapons will do more damage as their affixes got buffed. For daggers and staves, the problem children of melee builds, they're getting separated into categories that can and cannot roll spell mods, so they should be cheaper and easier to craft for attack builds now. Many uniques are getting rebalanced as part of Legion, but most of their changes are a secret. Not a secret is that Moroi Urki is getting more big bashy power with more damage and an added support gem Pulverize that makes it hit harder and bigger at the cost of attack speed. Keep an eye on this one for Earthquake. Also, Pledge of Hands is getting a greater spell echo effect that should work like multi-strike to give more damage to repeated casts. Apex Rage just also randomly got more damage and makes poison faster now as well. And for other big unique changes, they're a secret until we find them in Legion. And now, the passive tree. We'll start with the top where it's a little bit easier. Witch has baby energy shield now. Aww. They added like 14 other keystones to the passive tree, but they're secrets until we get the Legion jewels. Some of them have been teased, and some of them look like they'll be pretty strong. Wand nodes at the top of the tree are better. Might Over Matter doesn't have nodes behind it anymore, but there's some pretty good mana and ES nodes nearby. Hunter's Gambit is very good for Toxic Rain. The Scion Evasion nodes are now pretty good with a ton of accuracy and evasion. There's lots of other little changes at the top, but that's the main stuff. And now, the bottom of the tree. Actually, what the fuck? The green stuff is new and the yellow stuff is changed. Get a load of this. This is the biggest change to the passive tree that we've had in years. One of the biggest I can remember. Also, a lot of this stuff is super cool. Seriously, I actually can't help you guys much with this. We're all going into this rather blind, and we're all going to be making our builds as we go along, I think. At least that's what I plan on doing. I'll point out some of the best stuff for you, though. There's strength, dex, and int scaling clusters that are bonkers for builds that care about those things. ZiggyD decided to fix armor by adding maximum elemental resist to it. Makes sense. ZiggyD has had kind of like an off-again, on-again relationship with max resist, breaking up, taking some me time, and then going back to it again, only to break up again a month later. Enjoy the juicy added survivability while it lasts. This cluster gives endurance charges when hit, neato. This cluster gives endurance and frenzy charges when hit while channeling, double neato. Pretty good for Cyclone. There's a cute little endurance and frenzy charge cluster down the bottom for things like regen, AoE, and movement speed per endurance or frenzy charge. Brinkmanship is a super neato AoE and weapon range cluster for melee builds, and it'll be pretty good for Cyclone. Adamant has cool defensive skill buffs for things like reworked Immortal Core and Molten Shell. They're all instant skills now as well. Freedom of Movement has solid phasing stuff on it for evasion builds. You can get some blind and crit from dazzling strikes, and there's actually just so much stuff here. In general, a ton of accuracy sprinkled around, lots more options for melee crit, and tons of cool and interesting minor effects like charge generation and buffs for niche effects like phasing, blind, fortify, impale, and so on. Nearly everything has something interesting on it, and Chris Wilson save our souls for the incoming struggle of figuring out what we take in our builds. You guys are going to have to study this shit like college finals are tomorrow and your family is starving and needs you to be a doctor like yesterday, and your little brother Timmy has bonitis and his bone medication prescription just ran out, but there's no money in the jar above the fridge anymore. Really guys, little Timmy needs you. You better open up Path of Building right away. Or of course you can just skip all that and go on Build Welfare when Mathel starts making build guides again. Good luck, I'm ZiggyD, and thanks for watching.